already know that that's one squad to watch out for. But we're gonna get into Stormfort one last time in this matchup between groups A and C. Here we go yet again. Map number 3. Out of 6 for this matchup, out of 12 for the whole day. And if you guys are just tuning in, don't worry. There's so much more ALGS action in store for you, so we will be here for quite a while. Now, we can finally talk about what you saw a while ago. What you got a glimpse of, a tease there, Gino. Onyx does have that Bloodhound, that Bangalore, and that Seer. Lots of intel, lots of ability, and a lot of aggression awaiting us moving forward.
Yep, they're certainly going to be giving us a good show, hopefully, this game here with a change up there for Onyx. I'm also just having a look around the map to see if we're once again going to get some fun coming over from Dugu Play as well. Remember, they were contesting Cenote Caves last time. And who were they against? I'm just trying to remember, because Fish Farms is currently, as you can see, EXO are landing at Launchpad and Fish Farms, so they're getting a ton of space all to themselves. And yeah, we do have, once again, 20th guaranteed going up against Dugu Play.
Yeah, the contest over at Cenote Cave. Here we go yet again, 28 Garrity. This time around, taking so much punishment. At least a blue armor here to keep Trent alive. But he only has that Peacekeeper, plus the triple take shots from afar and might need some help. But here they come, and down goes 28 Guaranteed. At least this time, I guess, they go by their namesake. They are going to come out in 28th place. Unfortunately, Dugu Play bloodthirsty from the beginning and do get that takedown. I'm looking also at what you mentioned a while ago. EXA has taken Fish Farms, taking a page out of the MDY White playbook. So, really, the eastern side kind of abandoned by many of these teams, focusing on to play to the center, play into the west instead. And speaking of, you can see the circle already. That's basically Antenna, Barometer, and Cascade Falls on the inside. Probably just a very central location moving into the future.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be one of those sort of North Barrow circles. If I'm having a look at that, that's certainly the most likely option there. And, you know, not only do they have double crafting options, do they have a beacon, but EXO also, because of where this circle is shifting, very likely can go for the IMC Armory as well. These guys are going to be stacked out of their minds coming into this game. Buriram, one of the teams that we said we wanted to see a little bit more of. Kind of the opposite, because they've got 3 white armors here as they roll out. Unfortunately, Ski Lift, certainly not that bountiful if it's your landing location, and they're going to have to try and pick up some scraps as they move through Jurassic Park and further into the circle. At least they've got that black market to try and help them out. Further down towards the south here, we can see RTL, who start over in Shipfall, are coming up against Good Riddance, who have actually taken Antenna off some of the other teams, and that's been respected so far, as you can see them Valk ulting further into Barometer.
Yeah, but the thing is, there are 2 squads awaiting them. You got ATH on one side, you also have T4 right there near their entry points. Immediately, Good Riddance happy to be in position, and as of now, well, they're gonna have at least the middle Barometer inside the tunnels they go and get whatever they can. Well, Good Riddance for now. Happy to be in position. Barometer gonna be shared all throughout. So you also have the likes of Dreamfire, who are just awaiting them. In the meantime, though, I do believe you have Dugu Play going after some of the spiders. Actually, I thought it was gonna be some action. So all in all, many of these teams moving closer and closer towards Jurassic Park, closer and closer Barometer. I think really it will come to a boiling point very, very soon in Barometer, as you also have Buriram in position. RTL, in the meantime, still setting things up as much as possible. You have here them on the southwest side, where they have PK right behind them. So truly, Barometer, the place to meet each other. I think right now, maybe some of the teams will be on the little bit of later rotation as we get a bit of a glimpse here of the care package. You check out Valiant, you check out DNZ. They have quite a distance to go on. Onyx 2 just playing perhaps an edge gameplay here very, very soon, as the rest of the rosters are just congregating, getting that intel, and moving inside the circle itself. But this is just a meeting of the minds. Barometer is completely filled by squads here, man.
Yeah, and as it should be, right? I mean, Barometer, when you see these kind of zones, it doesn't generally finish in the middle of Barometer, right, Dax? And because of that, because this circle is sort of cut off the southern end of Barometer, it gives you a lot of information about where this is going to finish up. And so teams like Boogie Borders, who have managed to get that northernmost building, I mean, we saw a finish there right last week, right? I mean, it was almost on top of that building. Teams who were on it, inside it, on top of it, they had priority.
Well, speaking of priority, that's been the name of the game for the region that has just been the status of what we've seen this split this time around. And that's one thing I've been wanting to kind of tackle while we have a little bit of this town time. It seems like it's just a common consensus between the pros to just go after this kind of ring playstyle instead, to just hunker down, realizing that if everyone's going to play edge, if everyone's going to play aggro, who actually comes out ahead. Because I think personally, when I look at Apac South, mechanically, many of these teams are equal to each other. It's more of that decision making, and it's more of really that respect that can make or break really the difference for you to place high or place low.
I mean, respect, whoa, I don't know. There's some teams that have got it, there's some teams that have earned it, and there's some that certainly show none of it to the other teams. I don't know, I've got a soft spot for those ones myself, Dax. You know, I love a team that will just run at another team, no matter who it is. You know, always got confidence in themselves. Again, I think that kind of goes hand in hand with that aggressive play style that we see out of some of the edge teams here in Apac South. Dreamfire, oftentimes being one of them. Today, we certainly haven't seen that as much from them. And, you know, is that just because there's been a couple of circles that have gone their way? We're seeing these Western circles where they don't have long rotations, and they're sort of playing that, you know, that flexible play style where they're happy to take a good rig position if it's dropped in their laps.
Isn't that the case though? Is it the meta forcing them to play different? Is it affecting their playstyle right now? But ADL Wolves are absolutely affected by all the bombardment and everything and anything the Bangalore can bring. So far off Barometer, we're all the way near Cascade Falls. Onyx on the hunt. ADL Wolves trying to not become prey, rather be the predators instead and hunt them down. But these hedgehogs, these porcupines, still ready to fight. Missiles do come. Onyx yet again trying to just cover up that revive. And this is the Bloodhound now, having to back on away, taking a lot of damage on esports, though. They still want to be that aggressor as much as possible. Belkin and the rest, they have the purple shields, but they're low on the HP, and Belkin solo having to take some cover right now, get a bit of that resec on the esports, trying to go for the poke and prod, trying to get the execute, but the ADL Wolves are fighting back, and look at Heck go sniping one down.
Yeah, it looks like they were going to maybe get to reset behind those Bangalore smokes, but as you say, the Bloodhound has been put on the ground. Belkin, unfortunately, is just going to get left behind by his teammates. It feels like Lahim and Mekshus are not feeling confident enough to take this fight. Well, they're actually they're going to try and get some high ground on a building up here and maybe grab those angles. You can see they've managed to grab the finish, and they're down now onto Belkin. ADL Wolves trying to assess the situation and see if the other two kills are theirs for the taking.
Yeah, they're trying to decide, do they actually siege on in? Because that ring can close behind them sooner or later. Onyx, in the meantime, ready to gatekeep, but ready to go for the banner recovery if need be. Still, it's just a standoff. They feel so isolated. This is one of the few 1v1 squads that we actually have here right now. And it's quite a treat. The only ones close by, it's still a distance for both Ant and DNC on their west and east respectively, too far off. So this is truly just, this is basically them playing arenas right now while we're in the trios itself.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, DNZ and Ant, as you mentioned, two of the teams that really are seeming to still play that hard edge play style, but they're failing to find kills because there's not many other teams out there with them in the wilderness. Okay, it looks like Onyx finally have decided to give up on recovering that banner. Or have they?
No, he's going for it.
Mekshus is actually going all the way around. I think he's going to try and juke. That said, he's completely separated from Lahim, his teammate here. So we'll keep you guys updated on whether that pays dividends or not. You can see here, it's a big juke.
I'm still watching it.
Going the long way around. He's just going to get there before the ring. No, he's actually not decided. Oh, it timed out.
Yeah.
It timed out just before he could get there. So he's actually separated himself from his teammate Lahim, without any benefit for that, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have to see if they can do anything as a duo. They may run into Ant, who are a bit further down, and ADL Wolves still within their vicinity as well. So potentially those teams finding themselves in the northern side of this next ring.
Yeah, maybe some of these edge teams will actually beat each other. I'm looking at it. Onyx might meet both Ant and DNZ in separate manners. I think Lahim right now, he's just trying to stay ahead as much as possible of ADL, who has decided to craft around Cascade Falls. So we move back to the action. We move back to our leaders, Boogie Borders, as they are in position here over onto the north side of Barometer. They still have so many squads to deal with. It's all, again, just fortify, get those pokes, try to upgrade that armor as much as possible, because there is still a lot of time as this ring closes. Thing is, though, because of these teams concentrated with one another, Hijinome, I don't think they're going to be able to get intel anytime soon past what their initial expectations are.
Well, the ring has shifted very much on top of Barometer, so, that's giving them a lot of, information about where this is going to go next. Bamboo's still in right now. Could be one of the fun finishes on top of Bamboo. They can actually be quite brutal because there's really no good spots inside of that tiny little island. You can just see it to the left of your screen there, where T4 is sort of having a look at. That said, if you've got your fences and maybe a Newcastle wall, I think there is some potential to set up inside, but it does tend to be one of those spots you want to play only very, very late game.
And well,
oh man, wow.
Ooh.
Okay, this is a wild circle. Look, circles generally do not pull on top of places where you have multiple levels because you kind of don't want to heal off to finish off with, right? So having a look at that, it might be RTL that have Godspot here. It might be going over towards their building.
Did you just spin a wheel of circles or something? What are the odds of what we're getting right now? It's just incredible, honestly. I'm flabbergasted by the fact that, okay, then this is really just where we get rewarded. There's a position where we get rewarded for having a bit of that high ground. And T4 right now, they're just happy to still stay on around this ring, though. It just really has decided to concentrate towards Barometer and T4. In the meantime, at least spotting a few targets here and now. Pot shots, as per usual, pretty much the name of the game until someone decides to siege into you. Well, beyond that, there's a bit of that standoff yet again. Dreamfire, I believe, versus Boogie Borders on the north side. ATH scouting and Boogie Borders, you can see it here. They are always in conflict, always trying to get as much value as they can in terms of their position.
Yeah, how much longer will this position be good for them, though? I don't know about that. It's a big question mark, I think, with the way this circle has shifted. It's going to be... I think the fact that it's over so much of Barometer, though, means that, this could play out a little bit similar to a Skyhook circle. Not quite as much cover as that, but there are a lot of options, as we do see a fight happening over here at Bamboo between DNZ and GQ.
Yeah, GQ just so close. Onyx also watching them like hawks, and DNZ still fighting here. Close quarters, Bolin so low already, and here we go with DNZ losing one. They do go for the chase. It's Onyx just getting a bit of that chip damage right behind them, and DNZ, they're just completely sandwiched right now as Onyx has decided to go on top of them by this point. GQ, though, can they decide to go for the takedowns? They're just hiding here as Onyx has found the opportunity, are ready to hunt. It's just truly making GQ endangered. Onyx still on the outskirts this time around. GQ deciding to disengage, trying to get on away, and where there's a smoke, so... Well, like esports, just a duo, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. GQ don't know that they're a duo, so as soon as someone goes down, they feel like they have to pull out because they're like, well, surely, we've taken this damage. It's probably a full team coming in. We can't know that for sure. So we have to worry about that and then pull out. They don't actually get the finish. Onyx just give them too much respect. There's respect all over the joint right now, and that means GQ are actually going to go back in for the revive. This is wild scenes here as, you know, the information, just both teams kind of making the wrong reads at the start.
Yeah, a bit of fake news. It's just so isolated to get that info on Onyx. GQ getting back in position as Onyx has decided to get away from them. Dreamfire, though, in the meantime, just underneath the bridge, getting absolutely sieged here by Ant. Prod shots yet again. They see the fortification. Dreamfire getting eliminated. And ADL Wolves also, as Ant Esports just watching one more time. It's a game of a service, basically, a game of third parties. And truly, fear for Ant Esports, they come out ahead of that one.
Yeah, Ant up the top. They're also looking at, you know, there's an isolated member of Good Riddance to their south. Does manage to reconnect with the team. And Boogie Boarders that we were talking about earlier, now that they've seen this circle shift, have gone from, you know, potentially thinking they had God Spot, certainly would have been if it was the same circle as we saw last week, to having to make a big rotation. We're seeing a good little rat spot here from I Kill Only Noob, who's doing his best for Dugu Play to keep this alive.
He's one with the rocks. He's one with the rocks. He, just
Put
there.
that camo on.
Just no one. Please don't notice me.
He actually does. He's actually got a camo skin on his Watson right now. So,
it
this
was
is
all
the
part
perfect
of the
spot.
plan. Are you telling
Yeah.
me this was the part of the Duga playbook? Step 1, just dropping someone. Step 2, hide with the rocks. Step 3, win. If it actually happens, I'm just gonna freak out. But you mentioned Boogie Boarders, they immediately transition from their perceived god spot to the north side of the next circle. They still have to deal with the likes of EXO, the likes of BRU, they're around that area, and right behind them, of course, Ant and GQ might be the ones to meet. And Valiant, though, in the meantime, flying by, trying to get back into a new position. Seems like GS, they also have the same plan, but Valiant, it's dangerous to go way too far off. You have someone like PK waiting, and instead, okay, they take pretty much a central location into cover, but it's not going to be enough as Shusty is just watching them and catching out Strafing Flame to start things off.
One down. Player K looks like he's in trouble as well, and RTL are trying to make things painful for them. You can see Dugu Play. Unfortunately, I Can Only Noob gets picked up as these rotations proving very troublesome for quite a few teams here.
RTL, though, still have so much to deal with right now. MDY White gonna be around the area. You also have Golden Sage scouting around nearby with the Crypto and a big EMP perhaps. They can take that compound by storm. As here we go yet again. Triple team standoff has been the name of the game. But look at Onyx. They've somehow gotten inside that circle, even more so as Ant now eliminated here by Jaro and the rest of his crew. So right now, any team caught mid-transition, have to say goodbye. They are completely caught out of position, caught out on the wayside, and that kind of has been really the game state of Apac South for the past 2 weeks.
Well, the EMP comes out. Rudine is a little bit annoyed. He has to set up everything once again. But it's not going to make them, you know, it's not going to give them purchase for that long here, Dax, because the circle is yet again, it's going directly south, and that means AF are currently the only team sitting in the next circle, and they're up on one of those top platforms, a little bit sort of north of, I think, what you could see on the screen just then. So it's going to be another brutal ring. We've seen so many of them today, Dax. Prepare for carnage.
Come on, that has just been what we witnessed so far, and what we like to see, the action happen here in ALGS. Look at GQ Dodo trying to get also inside that circle. I'm watching PK right now as they can be one of those teams that can transition, but it's just not the best terrain. In the meantime now, as GQ flies on by, right behind him, there's going to be T4 setting up yet again. MDY White in the meantime, up and down we go. Over on the west side, T4 now, they're feeling the hurt, they're feeling the burn, and they should be slowly but surely getting whittled down by the rest of the opposition. Shusty now versus the world. Can he actually stay alive? Into the corner he goes. Good riddance though, NG cannot get eliminated. MDY White 2! Here we go, the carnage you mentioned, it's happening here!
The kill feed is moving faster than an F1 car right now. We've just had about half the lobby eliminated. Oh man, you need about 10 minutes just to watch, you know, every perspective of that fight go on at once. There's Ath. We were talking about how they were in a great spot, but it's Buriram who, with a couple of casualties, managed to take them out, and the high ground Who manages to get through, though? It's EXO once again finding themselves in a good spot in the late game there. Ziki does take a hit here, and PK from the low ground, them and Northside Esports actually looking pretty good. Two others with duos at the moment, Boogie Borders being one of them. EXO kind of on the precipice. Can they get Ziki back up? That's a big question, but with 4 squads left alive, I feel like we're not getting to the end of this circle yet again, Dax.
Come on. Someone's gotta give EXO Clan, though, and Boogie Borders, they're just in close proximity. The top 2 still stay on within the top 4. PK, really, they have been happy on the south side of the parameter for so long, but eventually they're gonna try to move on around and try to seize that high ground. It's dangerous, though. Look at EXO Clan go. They were ready for PK. They don't care about those wires crossing as they have the power position anyway. They do go down to go for a little bit of a reprieve. Not only that, though, Killapause, he's sliding down. They feel like they can actually get the wipe if ever. And look at EXO yet again on the hunt.
Yeah, with that, they managed to grab that kill, and they're just going to keep going for PK, who they
oh, man!
who really should have been able to do better than that, but somehow they flipped the script completely, and PK is a duo Crusader, and Hey are going to take down the Thai Crusaders there. And on top of this, we've got Boogie Border still alive as a duo. Northside Esports, they've been waiting and biding their time underneath. Could they come out on top here?
Yeah, Boogie Borders were actually helping out PK there in the pinch and lighting up the scoreboard there. Northside, though, in the meantime, versus Boogie Borders as PK went for the resurrection, but it's PK absolutely bleeding right now. Really, the Seer is the only one that can put up some combat. Crusader has to go for a reset. Doesn't have much of the HP, rather. Still fighting, though. And here we go yet again. Northside here in the center. We have the Boogie Borders around, but Boogie Borders, they're just bleeding right now. They're just hurting onto the floor. Raki trying to use his teaming for coverage with Boogie Borders. They can only settle for top 3 right now. PK, though, fighting. It's Northside, though, who will go forth and take the win. Northside Esports, this time, they get the right call at the right time, and they get the win because of it.
From underneath, they end up on top. Northside playing out that circle.